guys, it's super bright out here, so we'll see how long I last. I'm wondering how you're doing out there. We are in between eclipses for those of you who pay attention to the energetics of the world, and I've been laying really low, but every once in a while when I see conversations happening out there, I can see that people are moving through some deep stuff, which is where we are. That's where we are in space and time right now. Some of us, anyway. So we're also coming into just archetypically and energetically, seasonally, the creative season. So for those of us in the northern hemisphere, we are coming out of winter and moving through spring right now, and then we'll be going into summer. And so the blooming season. And I've been talking with some people in my life, in my circles, who are very creative, and an interesting challenge with expressing creativity and not really organizing ideas, but finding solutions for specific questions that are being asked right now in people's lives. And one of my go-tos that I would like to share, that I have shared with my friends in these conversations, and that I would like to share with the broader audience, is going to our dreams when we have questions that our daytime mind is struggling to figure out. So, how do you take a question into your dreams? There's a lot of ways that you can do it. I will just share one of the first practices that was shared with me, and that is to make a request. You could call it setting an intention, but what you'll do is you'll physically write down the questions that you have. And I'm not going to put limitations on whether or not you can ask yes or no questions versus open-ended questions. If you need it to be a very linear yes or no response, then ask for that. If you don't know what you need, or if you need more room, or more flexibility, or if you're just looking for a collaborative response, then I would encourage you, or I do encourage you, to make your intention. You can make your intention clearly defined. So the intention is that within the next 30, 60, 90 days, I will have a clear path of action towards creating in this way, or towards resolving this creative block that I have around building this thing that I'm working on. Like whatever it is you're working on, you can make a clear intention. I'm going to have the first 5 chapters of my book written in the next 30 days. I'm just pulling these out of the air. But the ways that the creativity and the support and the inspiration come to you, you can leave those open-ended. So you set your intention. What is it that you need help with? And then ask your dreams for guidance. Ask that place in yourself that works in the dark to start speaking to you about places you can go for inspiration in your own life, as well as the world around you. Let me just pause for a moment. So the intention is what allows us to build a focal point. The intention is the anchor. Any requests that we make for creative support, creative collaboration, guidance, clarity, plans of action, those are all things that we can leave open, that we can allow that to come to us in many different ways. So the important thing is to be clear about what your desire is, aka your intention, and then physically write it out. So we are making a physical connection with this external world, bringing this creative, non-physical idea and inspiration down into tangible experience. So that's part of the writing it down. There are also some really cool things that happen physiologically for us, um, in the mind and then in the chemistry of the body when we physically write things out, um, and physically build. So you're going to set that next to your bed. Some people like to tuck it under the pillow. You could slide it under the mattress if you're sleeping on a mattress situation, but you just want to keep it near your bed space. And then ask for the guidance. And you can also write this down. You can pray this out. You can sing it out. You can speak it out. But you want to make a vocal request to be guided. And that, again, making the physical external, so taking from the internal to the external, is a way of just using that vibrational, I'm going to use the word magic, but it's not magic. It's using our vibrational tools to make a physical connection with the world. And you want to do this practice. So some people say do it once and then just go into your dream space and pay attention to what shows up. I'm sorry, guys, it's really dry out here. Like I'm sitting in a different sand location, and the shells have been crushed in such a way that they're so dry, and it's just getting in there in my throat. So bear with me if I go silent for a few minutes. And there's also a shell. So around here, people will take shells with holes in them and put them up on tree branches. And I just noticed one hanging out by itself. So you have options with this. Your clarity of intention, and then your request, your verbal request for support and assistance. Those are important. Now, you can make a nightly ritual of going back and rereading your intention, and then just allowing that. I'm looking for my words because I know that not everyone is on board with the idea of guides or spirits or God even, or angels or ancestors. So I'm looking for some more options so that you don't tune out, because this is incredibly effective. So just know that, if you have a relationship with the unseen world, elementals, ancestors, the creator, angels, etc., use that language. If you're someone for whom this language is new, or if it's off-putting, don't let that be the reason that you don't take your creative requests into your dream time. If you want to look at it from a purely psychological lens, then do that. Do what's going to work for you and allow you to work with these tools. So what I'm wanting to encourage you to do is make it an ongoing practice. So absolutely, if you're super skilled at just making the request, writing it out, and I know I'm not going to go there. If you're super skilled at being clear on your intentions and then being clear on your request for support, do that. If it's like a one and done for you and you get your downloads, then do that. For someone who's newer to this, for someone who has a very ceremonial and ritual approach to life, it's really, really beautiful to do this on an ongoing basis. So it's like refilling that cup, refilling that water, tending to your altar. So every night you just go back to that intention, be thankful for the ideas and the support that has come to you to this point, and then let yourself on these other levels know that you are still open to receiving clearer guidance, clearer inspiration, clearer direction, etc., whatever it is that you're looking for. I want to go back real quickly and just talk about ritual and ceremony. I used to use these words interchangeably, and then I was introduced to some more study and realized that there are differences. Ritual tends to be more structured and routine. So ritual can be just dropped into the mundane world, which is a beautiful world. So coffee, the way that we wake up in the morning, the order in which we wake up, come out of bed, and then whatever else it is that we do between waking up and stepping out the door for the first time that day. That can be ritual. It's going to be a schedule, routinized way of doing something, whether it's our everyday experience and routines, or whether it's a service in a religious ceremony or a spiritual ceremony, or um, there are physicians who have rituals as they go into surgery. There are athletes. Athletes are big on ritual before they go in. You know, there's something that we do in a very ordered way that keeps the order in the universe. Ritual. Ceremony tends to be more flexible. There's a flexibility. Ceremony has a lot to do with intention and like a call and response. So there's a lot more freedom with a ceremony. There may be elements to a ceremony that are standardized depending upon what the ceremony is, and what the intentions are. For example, in it is common to call in the elements in a ceremony, call in the directions in a ceremony, or even a ritual setting. That might be one of the standardized elements of ceremony. Um, Wedding ceremonies, you know, there's certain elements that are typically there, but the rest of the ceremony can be curated for the people involved. So ceremony is more about our intention. It is a responsive um, experience, and it tends to drop us into an initiatory experience. There's more like there can be a deeper sense of myth and archetypal memory in ceremony. What I'm not wanting to say is that one can be more powerfully impactful than the other, but it can be very easy with ritual to just become very rote and routinized, whereas ceremony requires an active presence with us. So I just wanted to go back and talk about that. I've talked about that in some other videos that I've done over the years. So our dreams are so powerful. We can go into our dreams for any kind of information that we want. The key is to be willing to work with the dreams. So you may get an immediate answer. There are some amazing things in the world that have been developed, and amazing challenges in the world that have been resolved through dreaming. I think one of the ones that I can think of right now is that the person who was working on the sewing machine, I think that in a dream, this person received like the way that a needle has an eye on it. I'm thinking that's one of the stories that I've heard about, like some famous dream stories. But there are a lot. If you go online and look up dream stories, you will see lists and lists and lists of people who are well known in the history of humanity who have gotten some sort of piece to their particular puzzle through their dreaming life. What dreams need from us is our participation. So if you want to have an ongoing relationship with your dreaming, it's like like any other relationship, we have to give it our attention and show up on a regular basis in order to develop the language and to develop the recognition of when we're getting um, like daily signals versus long-term signals or information from our dreams, things like that. So I just love encouraging people to tap into the dream world. It's very personalized. Once you learn your dream language, there's once you learn your dream language, you are we always have a direct connection. You guys know that I struggle when I talk on these videos sometimes because I don't like coming down on an all or nothing. So much in life is not actually all or nothing, which can be very challenging to people. It's very frightening not to have a definitive answer to things. Um, so there are so many ways to get downloads, uploads, inloads, outloads, so many ways to get information. I have found that dreaming is one of the most consistent, and when we learn um, what our particular dream language and dream signaling is, when you wake up and you're reviewing the images or the conversations or however your dreams talk to you, when you know something, there's something that happens in the body that lets you know that you know. And then there's just a way that we start moving in the decisions in our life from that place of knowing that is unshakable. It's another reason why I really encourage people to go to the dream time for answers, for healing. There's just so much available to us in that space. So if you're currently facing a creative challenge and you are struggling for resolution or ideas, etc., take it to your dreams. Ask your dream team for help, for collaboration, if you will. And whatever the language is that you use for your experience of spirits in this physical form, apply your language to what I'm sharing and go with it from there. It's not about my language so much as just the concepts that have been passed down to me, and I'm sharing them. You put them into your language and use them for your own good. So that's what I wanted to share about dreaming. My name is Nakaya, for those of you who don't know me, and I will be back for another conversation when that topic presents itself. Thank you so much.